Howdy folks, Peter G, your favorite Polish mangaka, and we are here for a little bit of a project. So right now we have snow coming down, we have all kinds of goofy weather going on, no one's quite sure what's going to happen. In my little area, it appears we're going to be hitting this narrow little band where it won't be as bad as it could get. But still, going out and doing fun stuff is not advised. So what do you do when you're stuck at home? Well, I got plenty of things to keep me occupied, but this morning I went and got the mail and there was something for me, and we're going to play with that tonight. And we're going to have some fun. So what you're seeing here, this is the Pearl ERS1000 eRoadshow electronic drum kit. Now, yes, I do have that Donner kit, but I bought the Donner because I thought it was going to have a dual zone snare. Does not. So a little bit of back and forth. They wound up taking some money off for that. But I still wanted an E-kit with some kind of a dual zone so I could practice doing rim shots and that. That's where this comes in. So this is from Pearl. It says it has a dual zone snare, which was the big thing. The Donner kit I got for a little under $200 because I had a coupon off. And it's kind of typical of most of your beginner drum kits or E-kits. It's got mesh heads. Thankfully it has mesh heads, not rubber. I can't stand rubber. This also has mesh heads. And this lists for about $370. Once again, I had a coupon. I got it for $300 even, which is really good. And especially when you compare it to a lot of the other E-kits that are out there, it's really apparent that I got lucky on the prices with the Donner and with this. Because even the cheap jacks that you can find like on Temu or in the bargain section of Amazon hit at least $200, and those are not really things that you want to fool with. So, but we got this. It just arrived today, and I'm going to set it up and take it for a test spin, and you're welcome to come along. So we have our implements of destruction waiting for us, and we are going to take this apart. I know the basics of what's in here. I just don't know everything that it comes with. So we are about to find out what that is. And here we go. We start off with free drum lessons and instruction manual. They'll be over there if I need it later. Drum pads or cymbal pads. Drums are on top, so we're going to get another drum tone out of this. You can never have too many of those. Drum pads. Drum throne base. We're going to put the drum throne over here for now, because that's going to be the last thing we go to. Headphones, because it's an E-kit, so you can actually hear what the hell you're doing. Once again, for Christmas, the gang got me that nice amp, so I don't necessarily need this because I hate fighting the cord, but you do what you got to do. And it's headphones. You can never have too many headphones. Styrofoam block, for those of you who remember your Nintendo Entertainment System days. And that should have gone a lot further than it did. Pedals, bass drum and hi-hat controls. Cool. Module, or the drum brain. Accessories. Drum pads. And the bridge rack. And now we can get rid of this. Now, the thing that I'm wondering, because from what I saw in the pictures, the dual zone snare should look different than the regular tom pads. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to see if we can locate which one is which. So, according to the back, this should be the snare. And already this is looking promising. So the Donner and also the Ion drum, I guess it was a drum rocker, I don't remember what they marketed it as. It was the one that they made with the module so you could use it on Rock Band. But it was just a Roland that was out of production that they repackaged, put new rings around it so it matched the colors. And that and the Donner had very similar ones to this. The Ion or Roland had rubber pads. Once again, I hate rubber pads. And the Donner has mesh, but they all had something very similar to this. This not only has the gray ring, but it also has this rubber on top of it, which I believe is what gives us our second zone. And we will be testing that out, but it looks like this is exactly what we wanted. Because on the Donner, the pads, well, that and the Ion Roland, the pads are completely interchangeable. It's just a question of if you don't want to get the colors mixed up. This one has to be the snare, I'm hoping. So that, and get rid of that. Other drum pads. Let's see what we got in here. And two more. So yeah, so there we go. That is our snare. These clearly are our toms. So we're off to a flying start as far as the dual zone goes, thankfully. Yeah, sorry, I still feel I got a little ripped off on the Donner there. They said it was a dual. Next are cymbal pads. I'm keen to test these out also because depending on some of them let you choke the cymbals, and I don't know if this one does, if these are chokeable or not. We will find that out in a little bit though. Okay, so it's possible because these are actually individually labeled. Okay, so these are crash rides, and this is the hi-hat. So in theory, if any of them are going to be chokeable, it'll be these two. And we will be trying that out. Oh, and a big shout out to Pearl for at least labeling everything so we know what the hell each thing is. You over there, thank you. You, get out of here for now. Okay, I'm not sure if that's rubber or silicone. We'll find out. Alright. Okay. Accessories. Because we're going to need these to start putting everything together with. Okay, so here's some of the basic hardware. I'm guessing replacement parts for things like along the rim in case one of these comes out. They do get loose with repeated use, as I noted with the Ion. Actually, I started missing a lot of strokes. I couldn't figure out why. And it turns out it was because the rim was getting loose, so it was losing its ability to detect the strikes. And of course, you can never have too many of these little drum keys because they always get lost. Okay, zip ties, and looks like some kind of, that might go with the module. I don't know yet. We'll have to see. Power adapter for the drum brain, and the octopus cable. Now, those of you who know me know that I am very, very down on octopus cables. I do have one drum brain. I don't have a power adapter for it. It's for, it can work on anything. You just got to plug it into the cables, and that's the thing that I love the most about it, is because you can, if something goes wrong with a cable, you just swap out the cable and you can get right back to it. This, if something goes wrong with the octopus cable, you need a whole new octopus cable. And generally, drum kits in this range, finding replacement parts is very difficult, if not impossible. When I was trying to reset up the Donner, I was missing a couple of pieces, and I toured everything. eBay, Donner's own site, you name it, they had no parts for it. Now, if you upgrade and you go into things like, say, the Alesis Nitro line, which runs you like $800, they got spare parts for that all over the place. But this is obviously not intended for long-term use. This is just to see if you could dig it, get into it, and if not, I figure you're going to upgrade to something a little better later. And once again, I'm just still getting back into it, so I'm not at a point where I need anything really fancy yet. Well, and you can tell because it has foot pedals instead of an actual beater for the bass drum. Yeah, when you get to the point where you actually have a beater and a drum pad for the bass drum, that's when you know you've hit the big time. Later, though, for me. And let's see what we got in here. Drumsticks. Once again, can never have too many of these. I do know that these seem to be, these are probably, I would guess, 7As. I bring this up because the ones that came with the Donner were extremely thick. They were bigger than 5Bs. My preference for when I'm playing rock is 5B. I prefer the 7As when I'm doing jazz. And these were bigger than that. So so at least we got regulation size here. That's a step up. Okay, this is the mounting hardware for the cymbals. Okay, unless I miss my guess, this is one of the foot pieces. Yeah, this is one of the ones that goes on the ground. Oh, part of the reason that I was so interested in the Pearl was also because the Donner, you have all the different mounts for the cymbals and stuff that go on the different arms and that. This, you can put two of your cymbals directly in the top of the rack. You don't need a special mount for it. So it makes the whole lineup look a lot cleaner than what I had with the Donner, and that's the reason I was leaning towards this. And this is probably the other foot. Yeah, give him a peanut. Alright. Okay, that's clearly for something. Oh, interesting. So this has to go in something. I wonder how that's going to go. Might need those instructions sooner than I thought. Okay, this is definitely one of the side pieces. See, this I presume would be for the bar with the snare. Oh, and what do you know? That fits right in there. Okay, so this is probably the snare arm. So this would be the left support if you play right-handed like I do. Wonder if that's for the drum brain. Okay, if I had to guess, this is probably the middle the middle part of the rack. that you attach your toms to. Okay, maybe 2 toms, and maybe the brain goes in there. Because in the pictures I saw, on the Donner, the drum brain was pushed off to the side, just behind, just under your hat and behind the snare. This, I think they put it right in the middle. And if I'm correct, that is for that one I showed you is for the snare. This should be for your right tom. And this would be, okay, so maybe this is, I'm going to have to break out the instructions. But please notice that we have the 2 holders here on the top that you can put cymbals in. Excellent. Like I said, I just like the nice, cleaner design. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to admit defeat as far as putting this together without looking at the instructions. I'm going to pull them out, and we're going to see what we get. Okay, so we have gone over this. I always love these. Congratulations on your purchase. Ah, thanks. It's the participation trophy of buying things. So we've gone over this, and it looks pretty straightforward. I was kind of right on my guesses on some things, and we're going to see how long it takes to go from grade to having everything set up. I'm going to keep tabs using handy dandy stopwatch. Stopwatch, and let's see what happens starting now. I was afraid I nicked myself with the drum key, but I didn't. You always got to be careful when your instruments demand a blood sacrifice. Now, one of the things is adjusting the height. This was something that I did not tumble to right away, because some people, either they're kids, so they need a lower setting for everything, or you just want to play like a low rider. There are people who have very low kits, and you can see them clearly over it. They can see everything going on. So we will deal with that. Okay, so this, it could be interesting. It looks like you can, in order to get this thing built correctly, you have to take out the bolt, put this in here, and then reattach the bolt through here, which on the bright side makes it a lot more secure. Yeah, now it's anchored in there. That's actually nice. I don't think I've seen an E-kit that does that before. Yeah, because none of my E-kits have the notches in the end. They just slide in and you tighten down the clamps. So that's an interesting new feature. Okay, so these two are the last ones left. They clearly have different connectors on the top. And judging from the instructions, the smaller connector goes over here and the bigger one goes over here. Okay, so the next part to worry about then is going to be starting to attach the pads. By Graftar's hammer. Okay. Tea break. Oh, that's the stuff. Another thing I noticed that I just like about this, the donner, this part here for your cymbals. See, that's the hi-hat that goes elsewhere. You had to have them angled correctly. This, it looks like it's round on all sizes or on all sides, so you can put your hat on. And instead of having to make sure that the arm that's attached to is angled correctly, you can just angle it this way. Not too tight. You can want to have at least a little bit of give, but at least that's one less thing to worry about. Oh, wait a minute. From the looks of it, so these two have angled tops. So I'm betting this one that I just put in here, this one is actually for the hats, and the other two are the crash and ride. I do appreciate that it's just a basic clamp to raise and lower it. That's going to be so nice. Yeah, and unlike the donner, at least I can see the angle. The donner I had to, basically I would find out only after I started drumming and it had drifted out of the way that it was not angled correctly. You'll have to excuse my 54-year-old butt having to get up and down like this. Ciao. Ooh, silica gel. Oh, that's always fun. You know, a few years ago I kept thinking, you know, I really need some of that for when I travel. Now I've got it coming out my ears.
One, two, three, four.
Another thing nicer than the Donner is that the module is in the middle. The Donner, if you put the module off to the side like you were supposed to, the cable that would go to the toms and the crash was not long enough. I wound up having to substitute for something else. Yeah, this is definitely made for computer nuts like me. I mean, look at this cable management. Holy cow. So, according to this, about 34 minutes to go from what you saw to ready to go. Assuming you aren't putting together the actual throne. Yep, we got dual. Cool. Now, can we choke them? Yes, we can. Well, you can choke one. Okay, that you can't. Just gotta depend on where you grab it. It works. So from here we have the module, and once again, I love how clean this is. you know, once again, don't have the cymbals riding all over the place. Everything is nice and compact and together. That is right where I can reach it, where I can see it, where I can do whatever I want to with it. I already like the setup better than the Donner, and that's before I even get to the dual zone on this. So from here, it's just a matter of dialing in. It's just a matter of dialing in what I'm comfortable with, but it works. Now, one other thing that I found in the instruction manual. If you have a good drum module, you'll be able to edit the settings. And that's important here because one of the options that you have, if you start getting better with the drums and you decide that the triggers are not enough anymore, you can actually get a drum pad and use a regular beater on it. The problem is that that's different from just a simple on-off switch like that. So you can go in, you can not only adjust sensitivity for that, but also if you're one of those people who likes double pedals on your bass, you can also adjust it down for that and make that work too. But yeah, for $300, I have a much, much happier setup. The Donner is now in the living room. That's going to be my Rock Band setup. I played with that for a little bit. If you have Rock Band on the Wii and you have the Ion drum module, only the foot pedal from the Ion has to carry over. Everything else on the mesh heads and stuff works just fine, so you don't need the fancy MIDI interface or anything like that. You can get by with that. Yes, I know it's not the most professional thing in the world, but it's Rock Band. It's not you're going in the studio. And now, that is now going in the living room, so when I want to practice I can do that. In here, I got this, and the Ion / Roland with the rubber pads, that's going to get put away. I'm not going to throw it away. I imagine it can be used for something at some point. You know me, I never throw away tech. I mean, I've got so much outdated stuff in here, it's unbelievable. But it can still come in handy. I'm going to hold on to it. I'm just going to tuck it away. But I have the nice mesh heads now for Rock Band, and I have this for actual playing.